Hey, how's it going? Welcome to episode 5 of Exploring RuneScape in 2004. If you're new to the series, I'd recommend starting from episode 1 so that you're not confused about what's going on, and it'll probably answer every question that you have. The main goal of this series is to explore the historical differences between old school RuneScape and RuneScape in 2004 and document my adventures. I understand that for most people, it's not very appealing to play such a bare bones version of RuneScape, but for me personally, this is a very important thing to experience, and no matter what happens to the online version of this game, I definitely don't have any regrets about spending my time going on this journey, experiencing the game exactly how it was in 2004. And with that said, let's continue on the journey. In the previous video, I spent 35 hours in the mining guild mining coal to reach a stack of 10,000, and now that I have 10k coal, I've been debating what I should do with it, if I should sell a bunch of it, or maybe I can smelt it into bars. And I don't want to commit to smelting 5,000 steel bars because I feel like that would take a long time. And with members coming out pretty soon, in under 2 weeks, it's going to be March 29th. So 12 days from today, all the members areas are going to be unlocked, which is all free, by the way. When members comes out, there's probably going to be better methods for training smithing than smelting steel bars. But for now, I would like to get some smithing levels because I want to boost up the total level, and I just feel like training smithing, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to make some steel bars, but to make steel bars, we're also going to need iron ore. It's 2 coal per 1 iron. The great thing about not playing Iron Man style is that I can trade other players, and I could think about opportunity costs. Is it really worth the time mining iron ore when I can instead mine coal, and 1 coal is worth the same as 3 iron? So for every 1 trip of coal I mine, that's the equivalent of mining 3 inventories of iron. And when taking that into consideration, it ends up being more iron ore per hour to mine coal than it is to straight up mine iron. So I'm going to sell some coal, then use the GP to buy iron. I don't know how much coal I'm going to sell. Maybe like, I'll grab all the coal into my inventory and maybe I'll sell like 2k. All right, I'm going to sell coal for 150 each. See if we could find anyone to buy it. Oh, there's someone trading. Always got to keep the calculator up on the side. 250 times 150, 37.5k. All right. Because the chat's moving so fast, if it's hard to see them, you can hide the public chat, and that way you'll be able to see the trades a lot easier. There's 2 main ways to buy and sell items. There's in-game, usually at Varrock West, or there's certain other hotspots like if you want to buy essence specifically, you can go to Varrock East Bank where all the people are mining essence at. Generally, you would buy or sell items at V West in-game or outside of the game. There is the forums, but the main place people buy and sell items outside the game is the marketplace, which is unofficial. There are people buying coal for 140 each, and it would probably be faster overall for me to let myself get merged and just sell my coal for slightly less, and I could easily make up the time by just mining more coal if I wanted to, so let's do that. But it is fun to come here. In case there is someone that's been looking to buy stuff, you spam for a couple minutes, and after all the people here that want to buy your coal get their coal, then you could move on to selling on the marketplace. This is so funny because I was looking on the marketplace trying to buy some iron, and I saw one of my friends, it's another YouTuber, I'm not going to say who, I don't know if they want to be private or secret about their account or not, but it's so funny because they were selling iron. Let's see how much iron we're working with here. It's going to be 57 each times 518, so 29,526. Thank you very much. My friend just started today, and I think that's the most, or started yesterday, and I think that's the most amount of GP they've ever had. That's funny. The classic 3. 55k GP for another 1k iron ore, and now my cash stack is looking very sad. But it's okay, I have a lot of theoretical GP in coal. Law runes are currently selling for about 500 GP each. And when you're trying to buy and sell items and you're meeting up with people on the marketplace, you do a lot of teleporting around. So there's kind of an extra hidden cost of like usually at least 500 GP. If you have to meet up with someone and then you're going back to V West afterwards, that's 1k GP. So it kind of adds up. But I think I'm set now for a decent while for the iron and coal. It's going to be 1,600 steel bars already. So let's go to Alch and start smelting. Before we get started here, I do want to take a look at the high scores to see where I'm currently at for the start of this video. My overall rank is 187, and because I'm going to be training smithing, I'll also point out my smithing rank is 873. Currently starting with level 42 smithing, and yeah, I'll make all the iron I have into steel bars and we'll see where that gets me to. I could do the calculations, but it's more fun to just do it and see where it gets you. Also going to remind you, for those of you that didn't know, in 2004, at least May of 2004, there's not a make X or make 10 or make all option for smelting. You have to do it one at a time. So This is what I'm doing. I'll be making 9 steel bars per inventory, and I think it would be worth it with the 1 extra iron ore I have to try and get an iron bar out of that. Let me actually double check the prices here. Iron ores are 55 GP, which means if iron bars are worth more than 110 each, because there's the 50% fail rate, then it would be worth it. Oh wait, no one's buying them though. Maybe it's not worth it. It would be more smithing XP per hour though, and that alone I think would make it worth it to use up that 1 extra iron ore per trip. I'm only 2 trips in, and I've already figured out the strategy of the bank placement when I deposit all these in. For quickly taking ores out, I have these positioned at the bottom here because I can right click, left click my 10 iron ore and then go slightly lower for the coal. Boom. And while I'm smelting my bars here, that's not me being attacked, is it? While I'm smelting my bars here, I'm going to put up a listing on the marketplace to try and sell coal for 150 each. Submit that. I want to sell 2k. Oh no, dude, I just turned my private on because I'm trying to sell the items on the marketplace, and like immediately all these messages started coming in. I feel like okay, I'm not trying to have an ego here, but like I feel like I'm living out my childhood dreams of like being Zezima with like you turn your private on, all these people have you added and start messaging you. I'm kind of overwhelmed right now. I'm sorry, I do really appreciate all the messages. It's just like too much to add every single individual person and hold a conversation with all the people. I'm sorry, like I really don't mean to have an ego. I physically cannot do it because I also want to play the game too, you know? So maybe it would be better if in the listing, like I specify like World 1 Alchrid private off or something. I'm sorry, I feel really bad. I really appreciate all the kind words though, and I did read all of them. Even after, 43 smithing. I was just about to record a clip. Cool, first level of the video, first smithing level of the grind. I was gonna say though, on the marketplace, there's the little 3 dots you can use to bump your listing, you can mark it as sold, or you can edit it, and you could edit the text as well, which is what I just did there. It also feels really weird. Like I never see someone type in here private off, like it's not a thing that people ever type, so it feels really weird and egotistical as well, putting that in the description of it. I'm sorry. It's literally the exact opposite of what everyone else puts in their posts, because everyone else puts in their posts, PM me. Man, I really hate to call this out, but I feel like it's a very notable thing to mention. Right now on Brighter Shores, there's currently about 700 people online, whereas in 2004scape, there's currently 1,000 people online. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Brighter Shores. I'm not like a hater of it. I was playing it up until 2004scape came out, but I was playing it very religiously up until then, but I just enjoy this more. This bar is going to get me to 44 smithing. We do get the level up messages with the matching image as well. I'm getting 17.5 XP per steel bar, and I'm making 9 steel bars per inventory. And then I also have a 50% chance to get 12.5 smithing XP if I successfully smelt an iron bar. I'm basically getting 160 smithing XP per inventory, which is like atrocious by OSR standards, but I'm happy with that in 2004. I can see the price and the value of coal going down in real time as I'm seeing these offers coming in, people selling them for 145 GP each. Might have to update mine soon, I don't know. The thing is, I could theoretically see myself making all these into steel bars. The problem though is that I don't have GP to be able to buy more iron ore, because I was gonna make these into steel plate bodies. I could sell them to the shop. I was hoping that I would make steel plate bodies and then alch them, but I don't have I don't have the magic level to alch them. I don't have the GP to buy runes to train magic to alch them. You see where the problem is? It's like I need money to do this method, but I can't do this method if I don't have money, so caught in an endless loop here unless I have a little bit of starting GP from something. Dude, planks look wild on the ground. Like everything else is low detail, but then you look at the planks and they're like freaking HD real life texture graphics. There's some other things that look like that too. Even in OSRS, I swear there's a couple things I can't think of off the top of my head that look very like retro and realistic like that. But there's a lot more of those types of things in 2004 though. On the week of release, when it was so rare to be able to get GP, I would have been all over this iron chain body. Now I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother picking it up. Actually, maybe I will. Oh no, it despawned. Because I have like 2 bank spaces. No, I have 1 bank space available. I could have, anyways. Another smithing level. There's level 45. I don't know if I've ever heard that jingle before. I just realized because I started this account already progressed, you haven't seen the method that I did in order to get up to the 42 smithing that I started off this video with, because I haven't trained smithing yet in this series. I did the Knight Sword quest, of course, to get to level 29 smithing, and then from there the rest of my XP was from mining in the Alchrid mine, mostly iron, but also gold and silver. And on the way back to the bank, I would smelt all of the iron, gold, and silver into bars at the furnace and then bank them all. And that's what I did, all the way up to 42 where I started this video with. And the price of a lot of things are crashing, I think I mentioned before. One of the notable items is Runescence. It was 40 GP for a decent bit of time. Someone's selling for 31 GP each. Because what causes the prices of items to go up usually? It's probably more GP in the economy, right? More inflation, the average player has more GP. But because a lot of players have been joining the game lately, that means the wealth is more spread out and the average player doesn't have as much GP. So that's my theory for why the price of some of these items are starting to come back down, or at least these skilling supplies. 46 smithing, any unlocks? Steel plate legs and plate skirts. Ooh, someone came up and they're wanting to buy coal. I said I'd sell it for 145 each. 300. Cool. Should be 43.5k. Oh, okay. 44k and a beer. Cheers. Bottoms up. There's nothing more classic in RuneScape than being an alcoholic. I don't even care about these swarms. I'm just gonna tank through them. They don't really even do damage to me. Just finish up my inventory casually and then go back to the bank. 47 smithing. Any unlocks? No. I did realize though that 48 smithing is when you can make steel plate bodies, and that's what I want to do. And it's gonna be 8k more XP to level, and I'm almost out of ores, so I'm gonna have to buy some more iron ore if I want to get to 48 before I start smithing. That's it though for my iron ores. I'm basically all out at this point. I'm gonna need about 450 iron ore to get to 48 smithing. There's the 450 iron ore bought for 22.5k. This is the best booth. I wonder what's going on at the bank right now. Looks like there's a new banker. That's inauthentic. It's not supposed to be in the game. Here it is. 48 smithing. That's the jingle that I'm used to. But now I can make steel plate bodies. I didn't perfectly keep track of the time because I left the computer multiple times to take breaks, but I think it was maybe around 5 hours of in-game time to get from where I started at 42 up to level 48. And going by that, that means I got like 6,500 smithing XP per hour, which is about 370 steel bars per hour. So it's, you know, pretty bad compared to OSR standards, like most things in the game. I ended up with 1883 steel bars. Let's head over to Varrock and start making them. But first, I want to see if Horvik is overstocked with steel plates. World hopping isn't much of a thing anymore with the 45-second timer, so I guess people aren't doing that now. I believe, yeah, the default stock for steel plate bodies is 1, so no one has sold any more to the shop. And I believe the starting price of selling steel plates to the shop is 1,200. And it goes down from there the higher the stock. There is a bit of a market for them as well. There are some people buying them for 1k GP each. I don't really keep any tools in the bank because I don't have space for them, and they're very easy to get from any general store, so I need to buy a hammer. Oh, this is so satisfying seeing a full inventory of the steel bars ready to go. First time smithing at the anvil since I've started recording this series. And let me show you, this is one of the few things in the game that doesn't force you to only make one at a time, because you'll see if I right click, you can do make 5 or make 10, although because it uses 5 steel bars, I could only make 5 at a time. But look at that, I'm getting so much XP. For reference, the amount of smithing XP you get from smithing 1 steel plate body is about the same as smelting almost 11 steel bars, which is more than 1 trip worth of steel bars from 1 plate body. In order to be able to AFK these production skills in 2004, you have to spend hours and hours and hours preparing all these materials and collecting all the supplies, or earning the GP to buy all these supplies, all to be able to AFK a production skill for like 1 hour. And it's not really even fully AFK. I mean, it's like slightly less click intensive. With a lot of actions that you do in the game, once you start them, you can't cancel them. Like for example here, I'll start making the 5 steel plate bodies, and once I start making them, I can't stop at any point. I'm forced to make those 5 steel plate bodies. Let me see if I could log out. Will it even let me log out in the middle? I can't even log out until I'm done making all 5. Does it queue up the log out? No. Okay. Yeah, you're forced to do whatever you start. It's a lot more noticeable for these skills that have make 5 or make 10 options, because when you're only like cooking one thing at a time, it's usually not going to be a mistake and you're not really ever going to think to click off of it. And take a look at this, just like with fire making, these are also called in the chat box plate body, even though the name is plate body. That's crazy how fast it was to get from 48 to 49 smithing. I've like just started here compared to I think like an hour per level smelting bars. Now it's been like 5 minutes smithing the bars to get a level. And now that I think about it, it's probably not worth smelting steel bars. Like it'd probably be a better use of time to buy steel bars. And then with the time I save by not having to take the time to smelt steel bars, I could do a money making method like mining coal and also get more mining XP rather than the very tiny amount of smithing XP I was getting. The macro efficiency opportunity cost that we did not think about in 04, that's part of taking a time machine back to 2004. We still have the same knowledge that we have in the future. We're just brought back to this time. We just have the chance to redo it over knowing what we know now, or knowing what we know in the future, because right now is the past. And what is today but yesterday's tomorrow? Oh wait, let me get the music on. This inventory is going to get me to 50 smithing. Oh, it doesn't do the thing until you finish your inventory. That's funny. And now 50 smithing. And with 50 smithing, I can now make mithril daggers and mithril bars is the important part with that. Wow, I just realized this. After I finish my inventory making the 5 steel plates, my weight is 54 kilograms. Versus when I have my full inventory of steel bars, my weight is 49. I weigh less, so it'd be better to run to the anvil and walk back. I was doing the opposite because I didn't really think about it. I just saw like, oh, it's an almost empty inventory. I must not weigh that much because I didn't really pay attention to the weight before. But while I'm making these plate bodies, my weight is going up for each one that I make. When Members comes out, there is going to be a cannon, so theoretically I could save the steel bars until then to make cannonballs, but Slayer won't be in the game. So I don't know how useful cannons are going to be or how much people are going to care to rush them because there's not going to be Slayer for a while. 51 smithing message pop up while walking because I clicked away as soon as I finished making the last plate body. Let's go. Mithril axes. Would have been very useful to be able to make those on day 3 of the game. I did the walking thing again because I wasn't paying attention, but thankfully when you click away, in this case, it does not get rid of the smithing pop-up, so I can show it. 52. Once I finish up this set of 5 plate bodies, I'm going to get the smithing level pop up. 53. Can now make mithril mud helms. If this was an osrs progress series, I'd probably skip all these levels. I'd like start at level 40 and be like, okay, see you back at level 60. But in 04, every level feels like such an accomplishment. And there's 54 smithing just in time because I'm just about out of bars. Steel bars have now been cleared out of the bank. I've gotten a bank slot back, except I've also taken up a bank slot with more steel plates. People seem to be buying steel plate bodies for 1k each. So I'm going to sell steel plates to the shop until it gets to 1k or below 1k. And that's the point. I want to see how many I could sell though before it gets to that point. But once it gets to 1k, that's where I know how many I can sell before it becomes not worth it to sell to the shop. And it looks like that number is 5. I am not going to be hopping around worlds selling 5 steel plates per world, or possibly even less if some worlds are overstocked. So I will, well, the buyer, I don't know if there's a buyer online right now because the most recent offer is from 2 hours ago. I might actually have to go get the magic level and alch these myself. The problem I have though is that in order to get my magic level up to 55 in the first place, let me sell these swords actually, I need GP to get to 55 magic. I need to buy runes. But how am I going to do that if I don't have a way to get rid of these steel plate bodies? How much do they sell for to the general store? 8, oh yeah, not worth selling to the general store. It's a good price for the arrows though, buy those. Selling steel plate bodies, 1050 GP each. We got a massive deal coming in here. 1 steel plate body has been sold. There's 300 coal sold. Wait. Oh, I just got teleported out because there's so many people. Oh, I'm glad I didn't lose my items though because I have so much stuff in my inventory. There are so many people around. I'm like messaging people right now, so it was a lot going on. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't get, I think it's the genie random that scatters your items. This isn't bad though, I could easily teleport back. It is a good reminder though to probably not keep all my items and my whole cash stack in my inventory when I'm trying to sell stuff at V West. Another 200 coal sold. Since I figured that it'd be more worth my time to buy steel bars to train smithing in the future, I realized that there's probably not much reason to hold on to the coal, so I'm trying to sell it, but there's not too many buyers at the moment. I've sold I think all I can. My cash stack is currently at just over 100k, but that is not going to be enough to get me to 55 magic. Oh, I was actually able to sell, someone just came up to me. Let's double check. This is really good. Let's see if he wants to buy more. He said this is the last of the GP that he has, so got another about 400 coal sold. Always got double check there. And the cash stack, 218k, plus I have another 109k in the bank. So the cash stack is now up to 328k. That is the most GP I've had. At once, at least. Death runes are very interesting because the shops start at a price of, I think it's 30 GP. As you can see, it's not at its full stock and it's currently selling for 63 GP each. And it's going up pretty quickly as well. But people are selling death runes for 70 to 80 GP each. So if I can buy them from the shop at under 70, then I'm getting a pretty good deal. People are trying to buy them for 60 to 70, but I think like 70 is going to be 70 to 80 will be like the going rate. Oh, we got, I was getting a bunch of offers that were really small. This is my first big offer for people selling death runes. Everyone's just been selling me like 30 of them, 70 each. So 70k for 1k deaths. Bro's trying to haggle me for a 2 GP difference. Said I'll meet in the middle. 71k for 1000 death runes. I'm gonna try buying death runes from the maid shops because at the rate I'm able to buy death runes from people right now, I feel like it might just be faster to hop around worlds and try to get some, it might even be better prices than 70 GP buying from the shops, hopping around. But on the way to Betty's Magic Emporium, I'm doing an inventory of air runes and that has gotten me to 38 runecraft. I was very close to that level all day. I wanted to get that. I'll buy the shop stock out until it gets to 360 deaths left, and then I don't want to buy anything below 360. And my total death rune stack is up to a bit over 1800, and I still have over 200k GP left over, but it is finally time to go train magic. I don't think this will get me even close to 55 magic, but I'm thinking maybe it'll get me like halfway there from where I'm at now, from level 42. It does cost 30 GP to get here to Karamja. And remember, if you want to leave Karamja, you either have to teleport out or you need 30 GP to leave. And if you don't have 30 GP, then you could pick bananas. But in 2004, there is no home teleport. Hey, dying is another option too. That'll get you off Karamja for free. Since I started the series, or at least since I started recording my progress, I don't think I've shown myself doing any combat, so you're going to get to see it for the first time here. And this method that I'm doing, this is how I train basically the vast majority of my range and a lot of my magic as well, which is standing right here, safe spotting the lesser demons. Let me turn the sounds off, it's pretty loud. Yeah, here we go. They have a I think it's 1 in 128 chance to drop the Rune Medhelm, which is really the only notable drop. And it's a nice drop because it's worth like 10k GP. It was a lot nicer on like the first week of the game, but it'll help make up for a little bit of cost of the runes. There is 43 magic. This is a very important one for me. I can now cast Superheat, which I may end up using later on for that mithril bar method I was talking about in the previous video. I think I mentioned this in episode 1, but I'm getting some serious flashbacks because I'm here right now. About a week into the game, I came to lesser demons and I was ranging. I had spent my whole cash stack to buy a bunch of arrows. I had basically my whole bank net worth with me, which was like 15k GP value at the time. Oh, I just got the Rune Medhelm as I was recording. Oh, that's so good. It's kind of funny, ironic timing. But I died because I looked away for a minute. I wasn't even away from the computer. I was just looking at YouTube and I looked back and I died. And you know, your items despawn after 2 or 3 minutes, and or maybe it's 1 minute, 1 to 3 minutes, and I couldn't make it back in time, of course. And I saw myself in Lumbridge and I was like, oh. Actually, I saw myself taking the last hit and then appearing in Lumbridge, and it was really sad. And I was really sad after that for a couple days. Looking back now, it seems like nothing. It's only 15k GP, but at the time I worked so hard for that 15k. And now as I'm telling that story, I get a Rune Medhelm drop that's worth 10k. Although 10k isn't as valuable to me now as it was back then. But I did come back the next day at the time, and I did get a Rune Medhelm the very next day, which I still have in the bank. That's my melee helm that I'll be using. And this one I can sell 44 magic. About to get 45 magic. As you can see, the C just got unlocked. This is a very important level because members can now teleport to Camelot. And I would say that getting 45 magic would be the bare minimum that I would have wanted before members comes out. Ideally and realistically, I'd also want the level for Artie teleport at 51, High Alch at 55, Watchtower at 58, and realistically, I probably will get all those levels unlocked before members comes out. There's 46 magic. Oh, it feels so good getting all these levels in such a short period of time. Not even just the magic levels, but like all the levels I've gained today. It's so nice to finally see the total level really starting to go up, especially in such a short burst of time. 47 magic. Almost forgot another important members milestone is 60 magic for the major unit capes and to be able to use the god spells. This makes me really nervous to to ever step out. Oh man. Well, that's a new one. I haven't seen that message before. Very thankful for safe spots though. That's funny. Then I go to check the Discord to see if it's just me or if it's happening to other people, and sure enough, it's not just me. Oh no, man. Poor Pizzazz. He gets like just over 2 hours of sleep a night, and he has to deal with all these people like asking him for help. Oh. Wait a second. I just realized I got rolled back because I had 47 I got 47 magic, and now I'm back to 46 magic. It's better than dying, though. Yeah, I believe I heard on some interview somewhere, I'm pretty sure Pizzazz said at some point that all accounts are backed up every 15 minutes. There's 47 magic again. All accounts, I believe, are backed up every 15 minutes. Oh, wow. I got rolled back a decent bit. In the clip where I DC'd, I had 956 death runes. Right now, I have about 1,100 death runes. However, I did not get a rune medhelm during that time, so I now have more chances to get rune medhelms with my death runes that I have. Yes, Genie, I've been rewarded. It was all worth it for the prayer XP. 48 magic. Yes, another rune medhelm. Another 10k GP. 49 magic. Ooh, not a magic level this time. This time, it's a hit points level. And after this kill, I'm going to bed because it's been a long day at the Long Day Factory, let me tell ya. Good morning. I was thinking about how you may notice that there's no defensive casting style available on here. It's just attack with Wind Blast. However, if you change the attack style on the staff to block or defensive crush, you'll notice I'm now, once I do damage, oh wait, it stopped me from attacking because of the recent change, that I'm gaining defense XP. I don't want to gain defense XP, so I'm going to quickly change that back, but you can get defense XP with magic by switching it to that. Oh boy, level 50 magic. I am now more than halfway to level 99. Yeah, I'm able to get in one more magic level this trip. There is 51. Oh yeah, and that's RD teleport. Gonna have to end the trip here because I'm pretty much out of death runes, but I'm really happy with how much XP I gained. I made it a bit further than I thought I would with the amount of death runes I had, so very happy with that. And between the 2 rune medhelms I got, as well as the 9k plus straight up GP, this was like a 30k trip, which pays for about over 400 more death runes. I also got over 100 chaos runes, so that could help a little bit with the magic training as well. That's so funny, randomly running into my friend again. My friend followed me to V West. I said, buying death runes 70 each, and immediately my friend traded me with some death runes. There's 250 death runes, and I want to get my stack up to at least 1,000 before I go back to Lesser Demons. Okay, well, I just asked my friend if it's okay if I say who he is, and he said that's fine. So that is UIM Loki. He just started yesterday, or I guess it's been 2 days ago now, so it's really cool. He's just doing this while he's doing some Apatol laps in the main game. Yeah, it seems like most people that trade me death runes seem to be trading like 30, 50 at a time. It's pretty common, but if I get enough of those trades, I will eventually get to the 1k plus goal. Oh, okay, there we go. Right when I say that, we got a big trade coming in. There's 630 more, 44.1k. Thank you. Since I'm here, may as well try to buy some nature runes because I'm going to need to later for all the alchs I want to do. Ooh, we got a trade. There's 100 nats, 28k. I have 365 steel plates and my nature rune stack is up to 323. So I'm going to need a little bit more. Maybe try to buy like 100 more or something. It's very interesting seeing the messages where I'm standing right here saying buying nats 280 each, and then there's someone right next to me selling nats 300 each. There will be no arbitrage happening today, my friends. There's 48 more. I think that should be good. It's probably close enough, if anything. 383. Okay, yeah, that's good now. We are back to Karamja. I got all my death runes with me, and I brought out all my chaos runes too, just in case the death runes don't get me to 55, because it might end up cutting it close. I'm not sure, but we'll see where all the runes get me to. First hit on this one is going to get me level 52 magic. I mentioned in a previous video that every time you log in, it resets your attack style to attack. Whether you switch it to strength or defense, it always resets it to attack. Well, it's the same thing with magic. Every time you log in, you have to reselect the spell that you want to use and then select to use the spell. And also you gotta turn your run on every time you log in because logging in also always resets it to walk. 53 magic. Earth Blast unlocked, but I'm still using Wind Blast. There's a really weird thing about NPC pathing in 2004 where, you know, in OSRs, if you attack an NPC, they'll find the quickest path to you, they'll go diagonal. Well, in 2004, they always go east or west and then north or south. They do not go diagonal. Let me try to find an NPC in a good location that will show a good example of that. Here, you'll see as I step out, he's gonna go east. He'll just keep going east. And then go south. Here's another example. I'll aggro this one up here. And you'll see that it always prioritizes going east or west until it reaches directly north or south of you, and then it goes north or south to finally reach you. 54 magic. It's going to be cutting it really close whether or not I'll be able to get to 55 with what I got. I want to see what happens when I run out of death runes. Will it make me go up and attack with melee, or will it just stop me from attacking? Let's see. Out of runes. And that's it, I just stand there. Okay, switching over to the cast runes, I'll use Fire Bolt until I run out of fire runes, then I'll finish up with Wind Bolt, and I'm not too confident about this getting me to 55, but either way, it's gonna get me very close. Oh, at hit points level, did not realize that was coming up. Oh no, that's it. I'm pretty much out of cast runes now, and I'm still 2k XP off. And that is the last kill of the Lesser Demons. I got more cast runes as a drop, but that's not going to be enough for another full kill. So with that, I'm going to grab my chips and dip out of here. I hopped around a few worlds at the magic shop to get more death runes, and I'm finishing up getting the level here at the giants. And this is the final hit, or this giant will be the final hit I'm going to have to do to get level 55 magic. High alchemy is now unlocked. I'm going to fill up my inventory before heading back to Varrock. Since I am going to be alching and that uses fire runes, that does of course mean that I'm going to want to buy a fire staff. I think just buying the staff alone will offset the cost of having to buy fire runes for 300 plus alchs. Staff of Fire is only 1500 GP. Let's turn the game sounds on and do the first high level alchemy on the account. Oh, it's beautiful. I gotta line this up to be under the alch. Can I queue them up? Oh, it doesn't look like... Here, wait, trying to queue it up. Can I do it like right here? No, I can't queue up alchs. Can I move around after... I can't move around until the alch is over. But what if I'm moving already and I try to alch? It stops me. But do I keep going after? I do keep going after. Oh, it kind of made me run. I have walk on, but I wonder if that caught me up to where I would have been. Is that a stall? Wow, ooh, free GP. Okay, I'm gonna get to alching. It's already very nice seeing the cash stack go up and up. Each steel plate body alchs for 1200 GP. Yeah, check this out. If I click to move far away and I'm walking and I high alch, my run stays at 100%. So it's not actually using up run, but visually it looks like I'm running to catch up to where my character should be. My muscle memory keeps wanting to queue up another alch, and then I'm sitting here waiting for the alch and nothing happens because I'm so used to being able to do that. Queuing up alchs wasn't even originally in OSRS. That was added in April of 2013. So it was added very early on, but it wasn't part of the original 2007 backup at the very least. 56 magic. It scared me for a second because I've been so focused on getting the GP from this. I totally forgot I was getting magic XP from doing this too. You get 65 mage XP per alch. There's the final steel plate body. The cash stack is up to 546k. I have those 2 extra rune med helms and I want to alch those as well. Each one gives about 11k. And a genie, always rewarded. Okay, one more. And now the cash stack is 569k. That's crazy that I am now closer to having a million GP than I am to being bankrupt. Wait, this lamp is gonna get me a prayer level. Hey, there's 47 prayer. Man, I have gained so many total levels in this video. I mean, out of all the videos I made so far, I mean, ignoring like the catch up from episode 1, this is easily the most amount of total levels I've gained in one video. It's felt so good, so satisfying. We gotta look at the high scores though before wrapping up the video. I did point out the smithing rank before. I'm now ranked 245 for smithing. Overall rank is 150. I'm finally starting to move up ranks, so that feels really good as well. Magic rank in the top 1000 now after doing all that magic. It is very dangerous to keep my whole cash stack in my inventory at any given time because of the fact if I DC and I get a random and it drops all my items all over the ground, I would not be very happy and I would cry myself to sleep, just like I would have if I lost my cash stack in 2004 as a child. But anyways, all that coal mining has paid off. I got a bunch of smithing XP out of it. I got the biggest cash stack by far that I've ever had on the account. I was able to afford to get my magic up, and I'll be able to afford a lot of other skills and items and armor that I want to get for the next video and going forward in general. Thank you so much for following along my journey so far. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for still being here, and I am still having so much fun. With that said, thank you again. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I hope to see you again next time with more adventures in 2004.